Hi, thank you. So my name is Anna, and I started working at Bitrise more than 2 years ago as one of the first non-programmers on board. And today I'm gonna tell you some stuff that we've learned from everybody's data on Bitrise. But first, let me ask some questions. So, how many of you are actually developers? That's cool. Okay, no testers, no UX people, no nothing. Cool. Okay, who's responsible for other things apart from coding? Fair enough. Who'd rather be just coding? Oh, you like all the other stuff that you do? You do? Cool. Okay, do you know what CI is? Yeah. Cool, even better. Have you used the local one? Come on, yes or no? Yes? Good. A cloud one? Yeah, my colleagues don't count. Okay, have you ever used Bitrise? Well, okay, well, fair enough. Okay, thank you. Have you ever taken a step back and look at the process of how things are done, or have you just inherited everything? Inherited everything? No, looked back. Cool. Okay, great, wonderful. So everybody just inherited their processes from the old guys? No? Oh, cool. Okay, that's getting interesting. Okay, so we have checked about 5 million builds, and I'm gonna share some stuff learned from there. Okay, I hope this works. So, as some of you may know or not, Bitrise is a continuous integration and continuous delivery service built and optimized for mobile. And it helps app development by automating common tasks and configuration. It's very flexible, like a set of Lego. You can put stuff together so you can build the pipeline you actually want. And as I've said, we've learned a lot from how our users use Bitrise, but we only see the metadata. Oh, sorry, yeah, we are flexible. And we only see your workflows or anybody's workflows or steps or whatever they are doing on Bitrise if they enable a support user. So, no peeking. I said no peeking, but that's gone. Okay, so what are steps and workflows that we base our data on? Steps are actually basically integrations. There are more than 250 now on Bitrise. Steps execute small tasks, a couple of lines of script or more, and they can be inserted into workflows, which are actually steps executed one after the other. Steps can do things like running tasks, archiving your app, deploying, releasing, or notifying team members, and that's the basics of Bitrise. And I'm gonna talk about the apps, platforms, and their makers. First, where do you keep your apps? In the cloud? I guess so. Yeah, we support GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket, and you can add custom solutions too. And I guess no surprise here because GitHub takes the most of the repos. Platform trends. So, that's last December and last month. I added last December because we started our Flutter support last December. See, that one here is last December. Because there were actually some Flutter apps, and see that that's almost 8% of all the Android-related apps are now on Flutter. Surprise, surprise? Guess so. You can see that native has decreased some, React Native increased some, Xamarin, Okay, of all the Android projects that we have, 55% is native Android, 25 is React Native, and why is there a mouse there? Much better, 15.8 is Flutter, and Xamarin is 4.2 almost. Okay. Builds. Do you know how long it takes your builds to build? Under 5 minutes? Okay. 5 to 10? Cool. 10, 15? More? Oh, nobody dares. Okay. Let's see our average build times. So native Android mostly takes 18 minutes on average. React Native, almost 14. Xamarin, almost 11. And Flutter, 8. What do you think? Do you think it's surprising? No? Yeah. Well, it looks good, anyhow. This lovely chart tells us about build schedules. What you need to know about build schedules is that everybody builds at the hour. OCD? Kinda. Hour. No. Pick another number. If you want to build something, I don't know, pick a prime number as the minute. Do something creative, just leave the hours, because it's not good. And here, our gremlins went on a coffee break, and there they came back. Okay, so there are steps that actually make a build fail. It's an option. You don't have to make your build fail if a step fails. So, for example, if you like your tests breaking, this is fine. But let's see what steps actually make builds fail. This is my lovely workflow, which is not actually working workflow. It's just the steps that make most of our Android builds break. The first one is the script step. This is our jolly joker. You can put anything into it and then hope for the best. Well, you should hope for the best because most of the builds are failed by this lovely step. The second one is a Gradle runner. I guess you know that. Users run whatever they want to, and then shit happens. So just to give you a perspective, you see the third one is Android unit test. If you add script step and Gradle runner together, Android unit test is about 10% of it. So maybe people should consider what they write. Yeah, so Android unit tests fail, but that's the point of it. And then there's virtual device testing for Android that uses Google Firebase, and they stop builds after 30 minutes, so that's also a problem. Side note, have you ever heard of Flank? Flank is a nice little service that actually runs tests in parallel, so it can reduce the time under 30 minutes. So Flank, you might want to check it. Okay, lint is code format problems, but you know that. And Android build. Yeah. Okay. So Bitrise automates the build, testing, and deployment of apps. And I'm going to show you some data divided into these 3 categories here. Yay. Our top build steps and integrations for Android are Gradle runner, surprise, surprise. And then Android build, which uses the same tool as Gradle runner, but it has a narrower scope. And then Android build for UI testing, and Flutter build, and Xamarin and React Native bundle. Yeah, Gradle is more flexible, and Android build is more convenient. Do you run tests? Hands up, who does? Kinda, no. Okay, never mind. Our statistics say that it's, yeah, you'll see. We'll see how other devs run tests and how do people test stuff. Unit testing. Our data is somewhat biased because unit testing is a default. Well, the steps are default in our workflows. Still, you see that number? The other 65.4% remove their tests. Sounds familiar? Okay. UI testing is even better. No, it's not. 6.4. Come on. And the best. You remember who raised their hands? That, people. That is. Strange, shocking, not that shocking, okay. But using CI makes more sense if you actually run automated tests. So this should be way lower, I guess. Okay, and we have virtual device testing, or you can use your own emulator. As I've already said, our virtual device testing actually uses Firebase, which is you can have your own Firebase account, but this one is on Bitrise now, so it's out of the box and free at the moment, and the test results are only available on our platform. And as we've learned that, well, Google has already figured most of it out, you should use that. And most people do, which is good, because testing is always good. And then when you're done with testing, you can use our deployment steps and integrations. A kind reminder about this is that you have to deal with it. Is any of the other services like 3, 4, 5, 6 familiar? I mean, do you use them? You do? That's one. Okay, cool. Okay. That's interesting. And I'm going to show you our deployment intervals. First for testers, but first let me tell you how we divided our data into groups. One-man shows. Are you a one-man show? Only one developer doing stuff? You? Everybody's working in teams? Come on, really? Wow, okay. Then we have small teams, 2 to 5 people, and then above 5 and above 50 as very big teams. And so for testing, I wanted to say stuff like people tend to send their stuff to testers like twice a week, but no. That's a day. So one-man shows run deployments 3 times a day, which is a lot, isn't it? And then small teams a bit over 3, and then big teams almost 5. And very big teams, well, big teams mean big resources, right? So that's a bit over 12 a day. We also have some open source projects, which is, well, people's hobby horses and stuff. But still, you can see that 2.2, 1.01, and 2.8 deploys a day, which is also quite impressive, I guess, for testing, which is nice. But if you move over to actual deployment to Google Play, this number decreases somewhat, because that's a week, not a day anymore. So 3.5, small teams, almost 4. 5.2 and, well, almost 3 deploys a week to Google Play. So people need to upload their stuff pretty often. As for open source projects, that's a decrease, isn't it? 1 deploy a week, 1.2 deploy a week, and 1 deploy a week again. Well, I wish people had more time to to do open source. And that's it. I hope you learned some stuff. Any questions? Yes.
So do you have a free plan for open source projects?
Yes.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes, we do. Actually, you can have, if I remember correctly, you can have any number of team members, and you get 45 minutes of builds and 1 concurrency. Yeah, 1 extra concurrency. I mean, if you, 1 extra concurrency. That's an added one. So whatever you have 1 more for the actual open source project that you've added.
So per project, you have 1 concurrency, and the timeout for a build is 45 minutes. So as long as your build is less than 45 minutes, then you have unlimited build.
Any other question? Yes.
Do you have steps for example, appeal or appeal?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, we do.
I'm getting impressed.
Well, actually, there are more than 250 steps and integrations in our step library, so it's a pretty good guess. If you type in anything, you'll find something. But if you don't, that part is open source, so if you want to, I mean, you can use a script step to use whatever you want to. And then if you're satisfied with it, you can create an open source step. You can hand it in to our team. It gets reviewed, and it can get into the step library so that others can use it too. That's an open source part of Bitrise. So whatever you want. We'll either have it or you can make it. Anybody else? Well then, thank you.